Hey everyone. Hello. Just a little Instagram message here. Jim looks really good with blonde hair, doesn't he? It's so awesome to be with you. For those of you who I'm yet to meet, I am super excited. As we say in the United States, or as we say in Australia, I'm stoked to get to know you. So cool, and you look amazing. Mind, I'm going to take that little video and share that on Instagram. Is that okay? Can we do that? Is this the exciting zone here? Can I see some down over here as well? So if we're not connected, here is the best place for us to meet. I'd love you to be part of my USANA family and share health, community and business solutions in the space that I work in. I'm really fortunate I get to travel frequently many countries to visit with many of you and your teams and your family and your friends. And I love it. I love what I do. I'm very blessed. This week I celebrate 10 years in USANA. This is my 10th anniversary. This week, I think it's today, actually. So there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't give thanks for being connected to you in this great community. And what you may not know, but like many of you, I was a customer of USANA for many years, about 5 years before I joined the company. I'm actually a really big fan of Procosa, or Procosame. And for me, it's just an awesome product, right? It's really good for a guy with old knees. And so many of you may think that my first experience then with USANA was with the product, but in actual fact, my first experiences were the stories, right? The stories that I heard about the company, about the science, about Dr. Wentz, about the athletes, about the business model, all delivered through a combination of the digital and the physical channels, not dissimilar to what happens today. Except Facebook had just started back then. MySpace was still pretty groovy, but Instagram, WeChat, WhatsApp, Snapchat were all non-existent. Hard to believe, isn't it? In just a few minutes, you're going to hear from Gary Vee. I can dress like that, seriously. But he seriously is one of the sharpest entrepreneurs on delivering results through a combined, authentic, digital and physical environment. He's a mastermind of it, and most importantly, he's a practitioner of it, and he nails it. Now, no matter what the channel is in the omni-channel world that we live in, whether it's online, offline, text, digital, or most importantly, in person, what gets me connected to anything or anyone is the relationship experience that I have with you as part of the journey. Kevin spoke about that relationship bond, how important that is. And that's the sticky factor. So when you consider our strategic vision of customer experience, I want to touch on a couple of pieces of that strategy in the lead up to introducing Gary. Is that okay if I just take a few minutes, keep you in suspense for a little bit longer, okay? Excitement zone, come on, give me some juice here. Thanks. So let's look at the first and final element of the strategy, because that's what ties it all together. So lasting relationships is that concept that you hear us speak about all the time. The idea of achieving customers for life. It's the long-term goal. You know, we have simple solutions, and we have rewarding products, and we have oodles of positive feelings. And that will get us somewhere towards lasting relationships. However, the true test of success towards that end goal is built around the key element in the strategy. The key element is every interaction. Every interaction, it's the key. Now, many of you have heard me speak about smiley button faces. Some of you have got those on today, right? You see these everywhere to help give feedback about the interactive experience in the moment, in shopping malls, in airports, online. Think about the experience, though, that you are having here at this event. So every interaction that is occurring to influence your lasting relationship with USANA. Interestingly, it will not just be one or two things that will influence you, it will be the combination of so many elements that we'll need to get right, that we need to get right while you're here for you to press the correct button. Registration, store, what happens on stage, the memories, the learnings, even well before you arrived here, or even those things out of our control. It could have been the cab ride or the Uber ride, as the case is. Your flight, the food you eat, and yes, even the weather. Very good. That was coming. But they all make up the experience, right, that you will have attending this event, and ultimately will lead you to push one of these buttons. And so with that in mind, I'd like to explore a little further this idea of customer experience as it relates to you as a USANA entrepreneur. So I'm always asked why and how top achievers around the world achieve what they achieve. And recently, we surveyed 300 of the top leaders around from across all countries. And the following summarizes the top reasons for USANA entrepreneurs' success. And I want you to take a photograph of this quote, because it really does summarize, I think, all of those 300. There was some consistencies out of that research. They are effective in consistently gathering people over a period of time, and they keep those people engaged with thoughtful and relevant experiences. Now, most of you would think it's all about making a list, inviting, presenting, asking to buy or to join, following up and following up and following up and repeat and do it again. And yes, those things all happen in one form or another, and they're important. But it's the interaction, not the technique. It's the interaction, not the technique, that leads to lasting relationships. I was with Bill and Jenny Huang recently, and I asked Bill, what's your technique, what's your script? And he looked at me really puzzled. And he said, Daniel, I don't have one. And I said, okay, you're a 17-star diamond director, and you have no technique, right? And he said to me, no, we've learned the most important skill is listening. Listening. Having emotional intelligence and a mindset of delivering solutions that meet people's needs. It sounds so simple, but we don't do it enough. So based on what Bill said, if you can do that consistently with every interaction, you can achieve lasting relationships, which means customers for life. Now, USANA entrepreneurs are in the business of gathering associates and customers, right? So that's what we do for a living. And yes, ultimately we sell products, but first we need people to sell those products to over and over again. It's about creating one of our most important values in USANA, which is about creating community. Now that said, let's think about that button again and be truly honest with yourself. Right now, if I were a customer or a PC in your business, what button would I press if I did business with you? And if I was an associate in your team, a business partner, how would I feel about the experience being in your team? Don't blush, it's okay. In other words, what would it be like to be connected to you? How does that feel? So we want all different kinds of people connected to us. And as our survey discovered, it's not about the sale, it's about the relationship. Because great entrepreneurs in USANA recognize that there are at least 5 groups of people that are important to the success of your overall business and community. First, we have our business partners, which we're really good at that together. That's all of you, that's all of us together. That's our relationship that we have with USANA and with each other. Second, we have associates who are our business partners, not here today, all around the world. Now we're talking about gathering this third group, those transactional consumers, those PCs, those retail customers who are purchasing from us. But then there are these other 2 really cool groups that add so much value to our community. They're people who actually may not ever buy anything from us, but are so important. And so those are the raving fans and influencers, and those that are emotionally connected to our business. So I want to give you a quick example of what that means, with apologies to those people that have heard this story 3,000 times before. Earlier this year, I was in Korea. I was walking through a shopping mall, and I went through this store, and at first glance, it looked like almost a virtual reality shop. I was walking along, and they had this entryway that looked like an airline or a sky scene. And then as I walked into the store, there was some guy came over and gave me a travel guide. It was in Korean, so it was a travel guide for Spain. Actually, it was for Italy. It was in Korean, so any Koreans here planning to go to Italy, I do have a travel guide for you. Then someone else offered me a coffee, and then I noticed around there were surfboards, and there was some furniture, some cool clothing, and finally, in the middle of this beautiful store, after having these great interactions and experiences, there was a whole bunch of luggage sitting in the middle of this store. And I realized that it was actually a Samsonite experience store. It was a luggage store. But they didn't have to be in my face about selling anything. In fact, I walked out of there not having bought anything. I had a travel guide and a cup of coffee. What they did though was get my attention and interest by getting me excited about the travel experience. Now, since that time of being a raving fan, I've told this story so many times and talked about this luggage over and over again. I moved in from being a non-transactional customer and a raving fan. And by the way, I never had a piece of Samsonite luggage before that interaction. Now, I have 8 pieces, right? Getting therapy for it. Something's not right here. But it was the experience. It was the experience of all of the other things, not the sales pitch, that turned me into a customer. And I'm thinking, so far, I'm a customer for life. I mean, if they had, a business model where I could get some commission, it'd be pretty cool if they had a binary Samsonite plan. Anyway. So now here at convention, you may have noticed these little smiley badges, right? You notice these around? These are for our first-time associates. These are for our first-time associates. So this was a way to recognize them for being here. It was a really simple way to create an interactive moment for them and for people curious about what they were. We were creating extra attention around them and also make them feel welcome. It's just a badge, right? It's just a small gesture, but it's worth so much more. So let's take it a step further. Right now, I'd like all of the associates that are here at their first global convention, would you please stand up? Please stand up. Let's give them a nice round of applause, please. Give them a bigger round of applause. Come on! Please sit down. They were expecting that. They filled that registration form in 6 months ago? I don't think so. Let's step it up a bit though, and I'll give you an example of interaction that elevates things like to the extreme, okay? I want to do that. And just give you this idea of how you keep pushing this and pushing this idea of every interaction creates this amazing relationship. So I want to create something really outstanding for one of our new associates that's here today, and she doesn't know this is going to happen. Where's Sonal Patel? There she is. Hi, how you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I actually bumped into you by accident the other day, didn't I? You didn't know this with me. You trust me? Oh, you really? Good. Come on out here for a second. Sonal's a mother of 2. You're a mother of 2, yes you are, and you're from Georgia, and this is your first convention, and you've been here for 5 months, and it's okay, yes, thank you. And Braden is just going to take you somewhere for a second, okay? And we're just going to give you, seriously, the most amazing experience that you've ever had so far, okay? So, Oh, we just wait for that. Ultimately, our job is to gather as many people and have them connect to our community, right? This is our community. Everyone you bring in connects differently, but it's our community in a positive and personalized way. So let's see how Solomon is doing. Is there something that's going on? Okay, that's pretty cool. We've got a little camera backstage. I think she was expecting this when she was kind of heading on. I think her sister is sitting over there. That's kind of nice. That's nice. It's going well back there. And so I'd like to bring this special experience to life. Scott, our director, I'm going to hand over to you.
Please welcome first-time convention attendee and believer from the United States, Sanal Patel.
And you've got a couple of team members over there, is that right? Just come over here, I want to take a photo with you. Quickly, run, come on, quick. Bring your phone, jump in the photo. We're going to give you a little bit of experience as well, give that to me, thanks. Right, thank you. Okay, here we go, ready? Here we go, let's jump in. Pretty cool. All right, here we go. Better go gold this year. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. Oh, that is so good. Oops, sorry, mate. Hold on, mate. Right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Is that all right? All right, thank you. Thanks, guys. Crazy, isn't it? So when it comes to having a great experience, look, we can't duplicate that every day, right? But I guess the point is that it's really about what's the interaction, for really the final thing I think out of the research is this quote, that the quality and speed of your success is an outcome of the experiences that you create and deliver over and over again. And as a USANA entrepreneur, it's really in your hands. The results, you own it. You own this business. The best part of being the CEO of your own USANA business is you have a lasting relationship with an amazing company and with other entrepreneurs all around the world. So thanks very much. Cheers.